Hello and welcome to a special episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. This weekend marks the 21st anniversary of the September 11th attacks that devastated our area. Joining me here today are two New Jersey men who will forever carry the weight of that awful day, yet use their experience to make a difference in the lives of others. Later on in this show, we will meet Ed Setnar, the Superintendent of Police and Director of Public Safety of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, who was with the New Jersey State Police on September 11th. But first, for over 20 years, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has supported the heroes who continue to risk life and limb in the line of duty. Joining us here to talk about their mission is John La Barbera, retired FDNY Battalion Chief and Tunnel to Towers Foundation board member. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
The story of Tunnel to Towers unfortunately started on September 11th, 2001. Tell us how the charity took form.
It started on that fateful day, and it began when Stephen Silla on 9/11 worked in Squad Company 1, which is based in Brooklyn, and left the firehouse a little early that morning to go play golf with his brothers. He left around 8 o'clock, and I guess he got a couple of miles from the firehouse when he heard on it, he had a scanner, which was the fire department traffic, that he heard a plane went into the North Tower. Stephen did not continue on to go play golf. Stephen turned his car around, went back to the firehouse, and his company's a special unit, so they were already dispatched. That did not deter Stephen. He got his gear, he got his tools, he put it in his car, and he drove to the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel that we all know connects Brooklyn to Manhattan. And he was told he could not take his car through the tunnel. Did not deter Stephen. He parked his car, he got his gear on, he got his tools, and he ran through the tunnel to the towers where he helped in the evacuation of those folks in both towers to them to clear the staircases and get those people down, because both towers, all those staircases were clogged with injured people. And those folks, those firefighters and first responders that went up to those staircases participated in the greatest rescue, because the fatalities would have been much greater. And then a few months later, at a kitchen table at one of the Silla family kitchens, the Silla family founded the Silla Foundation in honor of Stephen and all those brave first responders and civilians who were killed on that fateful day.
Unbelievable. Before we continue on about the mission of the foundation, you were there on 9/11. Do you mind reflecting on your own personal experience?
I was a captain at the time in the Prospect Park area of Brooklyn, and I made a quick switch. I was supposed to be working that day, and where I was is where I always am, getting my wife and daughters off to school, and I was at the gym. And somebody brought to my attention that a plane went into the North Tower. I looked at it, and I just thought it was a sightseeing plane accidentally hitting the towers. Until 20-something minutes later, the South Tower was struck, and we were under attack. I got my car, I went to the Staten Island ferry, and I took a ferry over to the site. The South Tower came down about a half hour before that, and it was just complete and utter devastation.
How long did you work at Ground Zero for?
I stayed there probably till 3, 4 in the morning, and I found out I lost 2 of my members in my company. Well, at that point, they were missing, and I had to get back to Brooklyn to organize fire protection for my area in Prospect Park. So it was a twofold effort on our firefighters' parts, was to continue the fire protection citywide and to provide our members with the rescue effort. And we were able to do that because of the surrounding states providing fire trucks and equipment, because all our trucks and equipment, 60% of it was destroyed at the Trade Center.
Has the FDNY ever recovered fully from that day?
That's a good question. On reflection, we lost all, not all, most of our experienced firefighters that day. Can you recover from that? You can. It's a very, very difficult job. Experience comes with time, fighting fires, going to emergencies. But what happened in the years that followed, we did recover and we did come back stronger than ever. And we got some wonderful men and women who joined the New York City Fire Department and EMS to help fill those gaps. Not with that experience level, but they have motivation. And they were taught the tradition. We never really recovered from losing all of our experienced members, most of them, I'm sorry, and all of our staff, all of our bureau chiefs, our borough command, they were all down there. We lost the chief of department, Pete Gansey. We lost the first deputy fire commissioner. The staff, these are the guys that run boroughs with 30, 40 years of experience. But again, I like to say, as I just mentioned, that the fellows that, and men and women, did fill those areas, and we're very, very proud of them. I'm starting my 13th year with the foundation, and we're able to do what we do with our programs, the Smart Home program, which is building a smart home for a catastrophically injured service member, double amputee, triple amputee, quadruple amputee, that we raise money to build these soldiers a smart home tailored especially to their needs. And I think now at this point, we probably built close to 90 smart homes for catastrophically injured service members.
You work so hard to ensure that the community never forgets what happened. And I know in 2020, Tunnel to Towers made sure that the tribute in light down at Ground Zero still happened, despite local government looking to cancel due to the pandemic. How did that all come together for you?
So what we did, what Frank did, and he called a few folks, and those towers of light went to the Pentagon, and they went to Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And they shine through the skies of those two great areas where we'll continue to put those floodlights up there so people never forget. And, a lot of folks know about what happened at the Trade Center, and they know about what happened at the Pentagon. A lot of folks don't know enough about what happened at Shanksville. At Shanksville, when that flight went down from one of our New Jersey residents, Scott Beamer, that was our first response to terrorism, wasn't it? They took down that plane that was heading, I'm sure, to the White House, and they prevented that White House from getting struck. But that's how we do stuff. And on November 11th last year, we read the names of over 4,000 service members at the Lincoln Memorial, reminding people of the sacrifices that are still being made from 2000 in September, from that next day to over 4,000 service members killed in the war on terrorism. And our first responders, police officers, and firefighters are dying from 9/11 cancer. And what we do, we show commercials with the families of the fallen, and they tell the story on what we were able to do for them as far as paying off a mortgage. A Gold Star family is a family who lost a loved one in combat that has children. We're able to raise money to pay off that mortgage for that Gold Star family, for the fallen first responders, firefighters, and police officers, not just here in New Jersey, but all across this great country. If a firefighter or a police officer or EMT loses their life in the line of duty with young children, we will pay off their mortgage.
How do you get the funds to do so?
We're blessed that we do run commercials with the families, and we show the folks the homes. They could see it. They see where their donations going. They see a smart home. TV stations run, as you guys know, public service announcements. And we're able to put across a commercial with the families and the soldiers, telling the folks what the Silla Foundation is doing with the money. And we have a program that we ask if people can donate $11 a month to these programs. And all you have to do is go to t2t.org. T, the number 2, t.org. And what's very important to us, and that's something we take very seriously, is a percentage of the money. Where's that money going? Our chairman and the Silla family, myself, our board, we're all volunteers. You know, we do have a staff, but 94 cents on every dollar goes to our program, and we have a 4-star rating from Charity Navigator. And we get that out through radio commercials, television commercials. We have billboards all over the city. And we have our Tunnel to Towers run that is held the last Sunday in September in Lower Manhattan, retracing Stephen's footsteps, where the TV station videotapes everything and we come out with a show. And that tells people all about the foundation and where the donations are going.
How is the Tunnel to Towers Foundation commemorating this weekend, the 21st anniversary?
The 21st anniversary, we're doing a bunch of things. Obviously, one of them is our race the last Sunday in September. And if somebody would like to participate, again, go to t2t.org. And one of the more exciting programs that we just announced a few months ago is we're going to eradicate veterans' homelessness. How are we going to do that? We are going to do that by, we are buying hotels that went out of business. We're fixing them up, making them where they're beautiful homes where a homeless veteran could stay and live and get back on his feet. And we're also in partnership with another foundation that provides the aftercare that's so vitally needed for our homeless veterans to get back on their feet, mental health, alcoholism, and all the other services they need to get back into society, because those are the folks that preserved our freedom. So that's one of the many things that we are doing for the 21st anniversary. We have a wonderful concert coming up with Dirk Bentley at Pier 17. We have a whole bunch of dinners going on Saturday on September 23rd and 24th, and the 25th is the Tunnel to Towers race. But the most important thing, as you said, to keep that what happened on that fateful day, and we're coming out, we're very proud of this program, but coming out with curriculum that could be taught in schools nationwide so our school children know what happened on that fateful day. And we're going to lay it out. We have footage. We shot documentary footage of Rudy Giuliani, of some of the dynamic stories of that day. So the school children will know what happened, and the teachers will have a guideline that they could follow. So we're very excited about our educational program and our homeless initiative. Very excited about that.
Where can people find out more and to donate?
You could go to t2t.org and find out all about what happened on that fateful day. We did a documentary last year with what happened with the firefighters, the miracle of Stairway B, 16, 17 folks were the only people that survived inside that tower. And we have the stories of the firefighters who went and got them, and we have Rudy's story, and that's on the website, t2t.org.
John, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I know that cannot be easy to do, but even more importantly, sharing the amazing efforts and mission of Tunnel to Towers. Thank you.
It's what Frank says, never forget and let us do good. God bless you all, and thank you so much for having me.
And I'll make sure to tell our common firefighter friends, hello, Anthony Arpaia, Frank Noto, I know you're watching.
Please do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John.
Thanks for having me. Have a wonderful day.
Ed Setnar is the Superintendent of Police and Director of Public Safety of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. On September 11, 2001, he was with the New Jersey State Police. He joins us now. Welcome, Ed, to the show.
Thanks, Lisa. Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be with you guys.
Well, I am so happy to see you. We first came together back in 2019 when you were being honored by the Columbian Foundation for what we're about to talk about here. And I can't even believe we're talking about 21 years ago.
I can't believe it's 21 years already. It seems like yesterday for most Americans that lived through that tragedy. And, for me, it's a little bit different. Coupled with the fact that I'm in charge of the Port Authority Police Department, which has sole jurisdiction of the World Trade Center and the security involving the World Trade Center. And then my work at the World Trade Center that day at Ground Zero and being diagnosed with cancer over the years because of it. So it's a very, very surreal topic that comes up, and we're preparing right now for the anniversary and, the security threat that comes with that.
Take a look back at that day 21 years ago. Like I mentioned, you were with the New Jersey State Police.
I was, I was assigned to the teams unit at the time, Troop C teams unit, which was, we were basically the SWAT team, the heavy rescue, the divers, the snipers, the specialists for the New Jersey State Police. And there were only 30 of us out of 3,000 that did that job for the entire state of New Jersey. And when the planes hit the Trade Center, the governor at the time immediately dispatched the state police rescue folks, the teams folks, to go over there. So we were sent over immediately. And then obviously the days, weeks, months after, we worked on that pile and did everything that we could, to help in the search and recovery efforts, while at the same time, traveling back and forth to New Jersey to execute search warrants on investigations the FBI was doing into the hijackers. So it was a very, very busy time for us. And We were there for weeks at a time. There'd be intermittent days. If we had obligations in New Jersey to do, like I said, if we returned back to New Jersey to do search warrants, then we'd be back other times on the pile working. Whatever the city of New York needed, the Port Authority needed at that time. We were a rescue operation. So we came self-contained with all our equipment from New Jersey, and we were specialists in cutting steel and, searching voids and things like that. So the amount of time we spent there, there was weeks and months.
In the years since 9/11, we've heard a lot about cancers related to working at Ground Zero, and unfortunately, you were dealing with that.
I got my diagnosis in 2016. I actually started getting a pain in my side and went to a doctor. The doctor examined me, told me he thought I should go to the emergency room, and went to the emergency room. They did an x-ray, then they did a CAT scan. And doctor informed me that they were 99% sure that I had renal cancer and that it has metastasized into my lungs. And once we got all the records together, Sloan Kettering took on my case immediately. And when I attended Sloan Kettering and they compared everything in the biopsy, it came back 99.9% of all the contaminants that were at Ground Zero were verified through my biopsy. And then later, when they removed my kidney, it was all there.
So you've been living with this now for 6 years.
Yes.
And you are defying all of the odds. You're a hero in every sense of the word. What keeps you going?
I think the fact that when I was originally diagnosed, I took it on as just like a battle. Okay. I'm not going to lose. What I did that day and those weeks and those months afterwards at Ground Zero, that was my job. My job not only as a state trooper, but as an American to help protect the homeland. And, when I got diagnosed, yeah, it was bad. I mean, I'm going to be robbed of years. I know that. But it was something that, I took on as a challenge, and I could have laid home in bed and waited for myself to die, which that was the prognosis, that I was going to die relatively soon. They didn't give me a long time frame. And 3 years ago, actually, I was in the hospital for 9 days. And at one point they gave me 24 hours to live. And here I am. I'm sitting in front of you. I go to work every day. I continue to do what I do. Yeah, I have good days and bad days. And, the prognosis I know is not good. And I deal with a lot of different, health issues related to the cancer. But, I got things to do. I got family, I got kids. And, that's more important to me, to keep moving on and show them that, okay, I got a bad break, but it's not going to keep me down. I'll keep going until, the good Lord decides it's time for me to come back up.
You mentioned that despite everything, you're still working, and you have such a role with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Tell us about that work.
As the superintendent of the Port Authority, the World Trade Center is our jurisdiction. So, that's a reminder each and every day. And then how ironic that the place where I got diagnosed or caused my cancer, is the place I'm in charge of now. So it's very, very ironic that now I'm in charge of the security for all the Port Authority, which includes all the airports, the bridges, the tunnels, the World Trade Center, the PATH train system, the bus terminal, at the Port of New York and New Jersey. I mean, it is just a huge operation, with over 2,000 men and women that serve the police department. And it's intelligence driven every day. As you could imagine, we have some of the world's most iconic structures and businesses that are related to the Port Authority. So it's an everyday challenge for us to keep it safe.
What do you do to ensure that folks watching never forget what happened that day?
I hope folks don't forget. And I know it's 21 years, and I know there's some of my police officers were children when this happened. And, we do a whole block of instruction, in the academy to remind them of what happened. I present them their badges at Foundation Hall, which is the memorial for 9/11 downstairs, to remember that 37 Port Authority police officers died that day, sacrificing their lives for others. And that is a record that no police department wants to hold, that it is the most loss of life in any single day of a police department. And, we make sure that our folks understand it. And, we hope folks around the world never forget this, because it's a tragic event that happened in America. And, I hope it never happens again.
Well, where can people find out more about you and the good work that you're doing?
Port Authority website, has the police department website, all our information on there, all about the police department, what we do, all the different structures that we're responsible for. Like I said, you have the George Washington Bridge, the busiest bridge in the world, the bus terminal, the busiest bus terminal in the world, all the airports. JFK Airport is the gateway to folks coming to America. So, I mean, the first police officer they're going to see is a Port Authority cop. There's just so many different things that the Port Authority is involved with. And, we sit in the backyard of the NYPD in New York City, as well as, in New Jersey and Essex County, Union County, Hudson County. So, I mean, we touch both sides of the river. And like I said, the work that the men and women do every day, it's unbelievable what we're tasked with and what they have to do, and they deliver every day.
Ed, well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on here, and we continue praying for you and your health.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and whatever you need, please don't hesitate. Let us know. And, we just greatly appreciate you reminding folks about what happened that day, and never forget. That's our motto.
Never forget. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you for watching Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.